Hi, everybody. So, yeah, I've been quite in a lot of places. In the last 8 months, I've been in 56 countries talking about the Hyperloop. I know there's a lot of expectation about my talk every time. So I called my lawyer yesterday night, and he suggested me to read you this, because you never know, what is the crowd about. So I have to read it. I'm sorry for a second. Hi guys, before I begin, I want to let you know that what I'm about to say is nothing interesting, nothing valuable, a complete waste of your time. You're going to spend the next 15 minutes listening to stuff, and this time you will never get back, ever. I call it pre-disappointment. This is the phase where you are all disappointed, so when I go into the real stuff, it's all extra stuff that you weren't expecting. So it's a technique. So thank you for being here. I have a bad news. I don't like that, but I don't know if you noticed, transportation is broken. When you came here this morning, you noticed it probably. There are places in the world where this is becoming dangerous. This is 2 months ago, China National Day. These guys have been in traffic jam for 24 hours. And this is starting to affect life of people. And these guys are ninja on traffic jamming. They know how to do these things. But, the problem is global. And we think we have a solution for that. So how many of you doesn't know what the Hyperloop is? Please, don't be shy. 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, okay. Security, please get them out. I'm joking. So to explain you exactly what it is, we put together a little video that you will probably enjoy.
America's always been a nation of doers. We build things, we take risks, and we believe that if you have a good idea and are willing to work hard enough, you can turn that idea into a successful business.
Billionaire philanthropist Elon Musk has hinted at a new high-speed transport system that could put planes and trains out of business.
I have a name for it, which is called the Hyperloop.
So what's Hyperloop? Mr. Musk's plan: move people using a massive vacuum tube combined with a magnetic levitation system. Kind of like a Jetsons tunnel?
It's something like that, yeah.
It's called the Hyperloop. It's a system of giant suspended tubes. Riding within are capsules carrying people or freight travelling on cushions of air at speeds of up to 1,200 k's per hour, or roughly 1 kilometre every 3 seconds.
How would you like something that can never crash? It is immune to weather. It goes 3 or 4 times faster than the sort of bullet train, and it would cost you much less than an air ticket. There are some companies that are forming to try to make the Hyperloop happen, and I encourage them. I think that's great. I'm super focused on Tesla and SpaceX, and to a small amount on Solar City, so that basically completely uses up my brain.
The race is on. Elon Musk's vision for a high-speed passenger pods known as the Hyperloop is one step closer to becoming reality this morning. One of the known companies competing to capitalize on Musk's proposal, announcing today it has struck a deal with landowners in Central California to build the first full-scale Hyperloop along a 5-mile stretch along I-5, with construction set to begin in 2016.
Let's bring in Dirk Albarn, who is the man who runs the Hyperloop Transportation Technologies team, which is announcing this deal with Quay Valley, California.
This is an independent organization that has formed. We have 170 engineers, scientists, and really great professionals with amazing backgrounds.
Abbiamo università prestigiosissime da tutto il mondo, Stanford, MIT, UCLA, e ad oggi hanno iniziato anche ad aderire grandissime aziende nel mondo delle costruzioni, dell'ingegneria.
Can you imagine and walk us through what it might be like to travel at the speed of sound?
It's not going to be much different than sitting in an airplane, actually. Obviously, for us, it's very important to make it as good of an experience as possible.
La sicurezza per noi è il tema fondamentale che sta guidando tutte le scelte ingegneristiche.
In railroads, most accidents were all human factors. Plus, a lot of the derailments are actually happened because something's on the track. So we're in a closed system. We're completely managed by a computer system. There's no human factor that can actually create those issues.
It will be built on pylon. So the main difference between us and a normal rail system is that the footprint that we have on the ground is very minimal. So you don't have all the problems that you find when you're trying to build a rail system.
We will actually be able to generate revenues very, very fast.
Le prime proiezioni che abbiamo fatto ci garantiscono per esempio di ripagare l'intera infrastruttura in 8 anni.
The company plans to go public later this year.
Yeah, we're talking about listing in America. Most probably that will be the best market in NASDAQ. The reasoning behind that is that we want to give the possibility to our team to actually get the upside because of their contribution in the company.
The company says it already has several potential investors and wants to take Hyperloop to China in the future.
Will the Hyperloop kill the railroad?
The Hyperloop is going to do to the US what the railroads did in the 1800s. So it will change the way we live. It's possible today, it's based on existing technologies, and it's the right time, it's the right moment to finally get something doing like this.
Is it visionary? In 30 years' time, will you and I be sitting on our rocking chairs going, well, we talked about it then, and he did it?
Do you think this is possible? This is not just...
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
For all those who said this is just a neat little thing to draw on a cocktail napkin, these guys are saying it will become reality.
So what's the Hyperloop? At the end of the day, you just take a capsule with 28 people, you put it inside the tube, you evacuate the tube of the air, and you, with a magnetic system, you're able to basically levitate the capsule and move it from point A to point B at the speed of sound, almost the speed of sound, but we are working on passing that. We are basically replicating what happens when an airplane goes above the cloud. 92,000 feet, the airplane has very few resistance, and we are basically replicating it inside the tube. So when you see the analysis of the tube, you basically see the air passing through the capsule, and there's almost no resistance in it. In red, you see the resistance. None. What we do also is to create a system that, compared to the traditional rails, is basically like a bullet. It's something that human being has never seen, even if the speed that we are reaching is very similar to the speed that you feel when you're traveling in an airplane. So it's nothing different than what you already feel inside a normal airplane. Imagine to be able to go from Sydney to Melbourne in 47 minutes. So the normal experience by car, it will take you 8 hours, right? We can make it faster. Imagine to be able to shout a loud hello in Sydney, and then right before you arrive to Melbourne, you hear your own hello passing by. This is an example. So I don't know if any of you has ever traveled at the speed of sound. Any? Okay, yeah, it's pretty much what you saw. The technical term to define an object that travels at the speed of sound is being badass. That's what we want to do. We want to actually unleash our badasses by being able to travel around the world in an unimaginable speed. So the other factor that we are designing is that it's completely renewable. What it means, we're using solar panel on top, but also a combination of renewable energy that allow us to build it in every possible climate. We use wind, we use regenerative braking, we use kinetic energy inside the tube, because capsule that moves inside the tube creates energy. And in some climates where the solar panels are not efficient, we use geothermal. So the combination of this allows us to create more electricity than we consume. And this is magic, guys, because it means that we don't need subsidies from the state. Finally, we are not creating something that is a black hole on the GDP of nations. You don't know it, but every single infrastructure that you have here in Australia is subsidized by the state. So you are paying for it, each passenger that is riding in it. We're not doing that. The other amazing thing that we created is a system that basically is able to resist earthquakes. How do we do that? The technology was there since the 70s. It's called pylon. And pylons already demonstrated their viability. Now there are new ways to build pylons. Of course, we can resist 30,000 PSI. What does it mean? Fucking strong, like really. So, and we can build the pylon in a way that we can transport 7 tubes inside the pylon. The pylon itself, of course, is an opportunity. It's not a block of cement as you know, the people that were building this thing out there has done until now. We think that the pylon can be used for several purposes. We are analyzing several technologies, like, you know, the use of vertical gardens. We can host animals. Because we are building on pylon, we don't disrupt the land, so we are able to basically allow animals to migrate. We can also collect the dew and create water. We can, when you have a solar panel and a tube, you have a desalinization system. So why don't we do it, right? We have the technology there, it's available, we can take water from the sea and bring it in places where it's needed. So that's a new way to conceive transportation and infrastructure, is to think it in an holistic way, trying to optimize everything you're doing and trying to minimize the impact on the land. And it's not because we are hippie, it's profitable. You can create something that it's actually making money. So it's very scalable. 7 tubes means if we can depart a capsule every 30 seconds, and we have 28, even if we designed 30 different capsules, but let's say 28 people means 3,400 people an hour, means 67,000 people a day, means 24 million people a year with 1 tube. With 2 tubes, we can substitute the entire flight industry between Melbourne and Sydney 2 times. So it is amazing, I think, right? Because we can have a system that is actually cheaper than actually existing systems, and it's more efficient. The other amazing thing about the Hyperloop, it's that has been conceived, is not a new technology. It's something that we put together, we put together a while ago. Inside the capsule, we are using a system that is able to replicate the reality. So we can't use basically windows because of the aerodynamic, but we can do something that is much better. We can use a limit of the eye, or human eye. Human eyes looks at 120K. That's the definition in pixel of our eye. But in reality, above 11K, we don't distinguish reality. So if this was a screen and it was 11K, you were actually looking at a screen thinking that was the reality. And in effect, it wasn't. We are doing exactly the same. We put screens, high definition screens, and we can show you outside, or maybe you want to travel somewhere else. I don't know, Paris, Italy. They said there's a good food there. You should go there. But you can also go in the space, underwater. You can be attacked by Godzilla if you want. So the in-capsule entertainment team is designing the next generation entertainment. It's amazing, guys. I've seen previews. It's freaking awesome. What's happening is also we are improving, and to demonstrate it, I can show you a little data about it. The transportation that already exists, we can build on top of rails, for example. Why high-speed rail is so ineffective? Well, first, this is the first main reason. The line between Los Angeles to San Francisco will cost probably 68 billion. They haven't started, and there's 2 billion over the budget. I don't know how this is possible. We will be 6 billion, and probably with new technology, we can cut this amount by 20%. It means 10 times less than the expenses that you were spending before. But the other thing is related to a concept that probably if someone of you have worked in rail knows very well. It's a concept called gauge, standard gauge. So every single rail in the planet, 75% right now, are built with this size of between the rails. 4.8 inch between the rails. Why? Nobody knows it? Right? There should be a very good reason to do that. I mean, there is actually, and it comes from the Roman chariot. So this is a reality, and it's very sad. But the sadness is not that the most advanced transportation system in the planet came out from the butt of 2 horses. This is not sad. The saddest thing is that if we increase this size by 30 centimeters, we can transport double the freight and double the people. Why are not doing this? If you calculate it's 20% more budget, because it's subsidized by the state, probably, and they don't need to innovate. But I think, you know, the time has come to change it. Well, some other entrepreneur tried to do it in the past. One hero was Eli Beach. In 1870, he tried to build the first Hyperloop in a place that nobody was expecting to. It's called New York Underground, the subway. Yeah. He built 1 mile almost before he went bankrupt of this system. It seems really comfortable, actually. And it was evacuated too, very similar to the Hyperloop. Another guy in 1904, Robert Goddard, the father of the rocket science in America, patented a solution that was very similar to the Hyperloop. And it was supposed to go from New York to San Francisco, underground. The problem was that all the scientific community went against him, saying human being can't travel above 60 miles per hour. And they were all agree with that. Luckily, this history teaches us different. In 1969, the American government showed us 4 different transportation systems, and it wasn't like a funky scientist. It was the Ministry of Transportation. He showed 4 systems, and 2 of them were the Hyperloop, gravity vacuum and tube flight. So this system has been built over and over. Several examples, of course, you know, various technology weren't there. Superconductivity is too expensive, but the imagination of people around the world has always went into a system that can transport us at the speed of sound. And we see it over and over, even in cartoons. When Elon Musk published the white paper in 2013, he didn't invent anything. He just showed a possibility. And we took it. We created the white paper. We published the white paper in the Jumpstart Fund. My co-founder, Dirk Albarn, at the time had the vision to take this white paper, publish it in the Jumpstart Fund, and ask to the world, whoever wants to join, if you're a scientist, a designer, an architect, a smart guy, just join. And what happened, 150 scientists after a month and a half joined the team. What happened after is magic. Basically, we have disrupted the transportation system. To give you an idea why we're doing this, I can probably show you this. What does these companies have in common? Anyone? They failed. Yes. So what does this other company have in common? They were in basically the same situation, but they started to listen. They started to involve their crowd, their community, inside their designs, inside their products. And they started to ask questions, and they served their butt. Lego went from bankruptcy to market leader again and used the crowd. So we're using exactly the same principle. We now have 520 scientists from all over the world, from 42 countries. They work with minimum of 10 hours a week, and they can still keep their jobs. And we have people from NASA, SpaceX, Tesla, Boeing, Aerospace, Lockheed Martin, MIT, Stanford, all over the world, including some Australian, and I will go there. We have also amazing companies join the team. Stock-listed company, the biggest engineering firm in the planet, AECOM, the inventor of the vacuum pump, Earlycom, We have Microsoft, Amazon, and everybody's donating or giving us tools to build it in exchange of stock option. This is the first time that humanity comes together to work on something that changes humanity forever. And we think we can apply this model to everything, to every single problem. We ask questions. So, for example, we do crowdstorming. What is the best route? What do you think about this design? Do we need a ticket? Not only do we need a paper ticket, do we actually need a ticket as a monetization system in the 21st century? I think a lot of you guys are below 55, all the millennial things and so on. They don't like to pay. I don't know why. But there are several other ways to monetize users. Advertising, of course, is one of them, but we analyzed 11 new ways. Maybe you can get paid to travel the Hyperloop by giving your time and to the community that wants actually to have your opinion, or they want to ask you questions. And there are amazing business models. If we solve the problem of moving people from point A to point B at the speed of sound, but you take 2 hours to go to the station, we didn't solve anything, right? So we are designing a system that you push an app, Uber, taxi, self-driving car, picks you up, brings you to the local Hyperloop station. This is Los Angeles. As soon as you reach the local Hyperloop station, you embark in a capsule, go to the main station, change tube, you go to destination, everything in 50 minutes. Now we're changing the world. Now we are redefining the concept of cities, because you can take it 2 or 3 times a day, and you can live in San Francisco or Los Angeles, or you can live in the middle, that you are 15 minutes from Los Angeles and 10 minutes to San Francisco. I don't know where you want to live, guys, but I want to live there. And that's exactly what we're doing. There's a little town that is coming up from a brilliant builder in the middle of nowhere. It's called Quay Valley. The guy is called Quay. It seems a joke, but it's true. And he's building a city. 37,000 houses, amusement parks, zoos. It's like Las Vegas without casinos. Okay, it's still fun, trust me. Completely sustainable. And it's basically in the middle of Los Angeles and San Francisco. We are actually started to build the first full-scale Hyperloop. Not a test track, not a little reduced model. It's a full-scale. It will transport 10 million passengers. We filed the conditional permit 3 weeks ago. I announced it in a Global Economic Forum. And we are waiting 6 months for the conditional permit to be approved, and we will be building it. So the world, in 38 months, will have the first Hyperloop. Isn't it cool? Yes. Thank you. So I am out of time. Time is up for a while, but we're also building a big advertising system to basically show, to earn money. The last thing I want to say is that, there are another company that born last year. They used the same concept, basically. Even the site is a little similar. They use the same name. Well, but we like competition, so except we think they could be more creative in doing things, we like it. The difference between us and them, we are an open company. We preach radical inclusion. We want all of you to participate on the Hyperloop, and we give you a piece of the company to do that. They use the traditional approach. They raise a bunch of money. They're basically doing stuff. They use a logo. This is our logo. This is the other one. Kind of similar, but it's okay. I mean, why I'm saying this? Because if you want to join a company, join the right one, okay? I'm watching you. So thank you very much. The only thing I want to say, when you are stuck in traffic, okay, and you're there, it's they're stealing your life, and they're not stealing it all the way. They're doing it one piece at a time every day while you're stealing traffic. We should change this, okay? So please come closer, faster. Thank you very much.